Maestro van, showing all the signs of scabbiness as it usually does, but very honest and, to me, nostalgic. I once sat in one of those seats facing that same steering wheel as a 5-year-old kid. Very interested in his cars when my granddad trying to encourage me to use the pedals, but I couldn't reach them, I was too young. Very rare car. Austin Montego Estate, a Countryman. In fact, this is actually rarer than you think. Based on a Maestro, same platform, a lot of the same running gear. Rover seats later on, these are definitely RA seats. And a very practical tailgate. These are literally rare as hen's teeth now. Got all that. Beautiful to see one in existence, because these for a time were just, well, if it hadn't been for the classic car scene, these would have died off to zero. Maestro 500 is that van. I think virtually almost everyone had one of these at some point. Don't tell me that was actually live in that sense. Sorry about that, my camera just cut out then unexpectedly. It is the single cam K series. Now this, I think, would be the 1.1 or 1.4, either one. Again with the, I think the MEMS 2J possibly. Yeah, single cam K series with a different head. Very simple arrangement, a lot more access up the front, but doesn't really make too much of a difference. But there was a little bit of a power difference between the single cam and the twin cam. And the single cam K series you could get as a 1.4 in the Rover 25 up until about 2002, ridiculously. We've got more Rovers over here. We have an 800 on the corner here on a G-Reg without the grille, as usual. Early one, automatic, perfect. Fastback. This is the car that I would dream about, because they're so rare in this form. So practical, but so beautiful. With, I presume, the creamy Honda V6 underneath. And then we have a Rover 600. Again, another car that may just tickle my fancy. This is a so this is a 623. So the Honda, I've got to get this right, I think it's the H series engine. So it'd be either, you've got the D series, which is the small version, the F series, which is the 2 litre or the 1.8 2 litre, and then the 623 was the H series, which are known to leak oil, but this looks really dry. And the thing is with these Honda engines is they rotate backwards the other way, so the whole thing had to be reverse engineered. Now I'm assuming down there maybe an automatic gearbox. It might be a manual gearbox for all I know. I know it is actually a manual gearbox, but I just love the styling. The styling on the 600, you can absolutely say that they transferred most of the styling to the Rover 45. The same man designed the body for both cars, and it really shows. It really is more than just a Honda Accord. Of course it is underneath, but I would actually really like one. And they are cheap, they are obtainable, and that puts it right bang up my street. Later on in production, they facelifted the Rover 800, gave it a grille, gave it some new slats on the bonnet. See there, just skip around here. Lovely wheels as usual, with the correct centre cap. Cream beige interior, automatic gearbox as usual. Again, this will be a V6. It may be Rover's own V6, the KV6. It may not be. In fact, if I actually pay attention, it is a KV6. It has the KV6. Now, a lot of people get this wrong. The KV6 fitted to the Rover 800s is actually a very different beast to the one that was actually fitted to the later Rover 45 in very limited numbers and the Rover 75. In fact, they were so different, they were hand built, they weren't mass produced. So there was quite a few serious issues that they had early on, teething problems, as you can expect with such a really complex engine design. But they got through to the end. But the early KV6s and the 800s are slightly different. Fiat Cinquecentos, how many of them have you seen down the years? Something else going on, cleaning. And of course, top secret, what can you guess? Oh yes, of course it is hydropneumatic suspension. Apparently, now there's going to be a live running at 3 o'clock. I might actually go and watch this. Citroen DS's are beautiful, not to everyone's taste, but I can appreciate the sophistication of having all the hydraulics pumped by the same pump. Electric power steering, you have the electric power steering, hydraulic power steering, the brakes, the suspension, all controlled by one pump. The goddess of cars? Yes. Metro Owners Club. Again, another favourite, MG Metro, quite rare now, with lattice alloys and the imprints, decals on the side. Not massively different to the ordinary Metro, really not different, but the paints do make the car look good. This is an early MG Metro with the pepper pot wheels, which again, that or that, not quite sure, either one will do, to be honest. Lovely seats. Just come round here. Like the decals to me. This one is a little bit more on the battered side. It looks honest. Is that a bit of a scrape and a bit of filler? That's usual. I do think the halogen flush fitting headlights look so much better than the poverty spec ones that stick in. Oh, nasty. The one we saw on the Maestro van earlier. You only got them on the Metro cities. And next door we have a Maestro, an MG Maestro with, I think, one of the most stylish 80s wheels that you can actually get your hands on. Nice early dashboard and talking dashboard, as per typical on these. Nostalgia. MG Maestro. Beautiful. That's the correct. This is the right colour to have an MG Maestro, and I've got a feeling it is. It's a Tickford Turbo. A Tickford Turbo. I don't know how many of these Tickford Turbo Maestros actually exist, but they must be in a minority. Now, whoever thought about this idea is really, really clever, because what they've essentially done is dipped, I suspect, one side. Have they dipped it? Yep, they have. This is the extent of rust on a Metro. A Metro, Maestro, you name it. I mean, look where it's gone. It's actually gone in the seam in the door where the door seal sits, and it's gone here on the door. I don't know, I've never seen a car actually rust at that point before. You would get it here where the seam is, but yeah, sharp edges, do not touch. But overall, it doesn't look bad at all. And obviously, they've cut the bumper to actually show what it is, which is a HLE, is it? Yep, Mini Metro, so an early one. And yeah, that's an obligatory hole for the, I'm sure that's not the obligatory hole for the wiper motor. Sorry, bud. And that's what it looks like before you actually dip the thing. This is a roof job. That's yeah. This is a hard task, but worth it, absolutely. We have some oddities, like I literally just spotted this on the NG Owners Club stand, and this is a Rover 75 V8 with the Ford modular V8. Now, I've only ever seen one of these at a show, either here or the Pride of Longbridge. It's just not something that you see. It is purely a collector's car with that Mustang derived V8, and it proudly shows it as well. And it's an 06 plate, really late registered. I mean, fancy having one of these after Rover had actually collapsed. Not many differences between the two, just mainly the engine. Just come across a few corners that I've never actually encountered before. Rolls-Royce V8 on a platform mounted. How cool is that? You wouldn't believe that this engine started out in the 1960s, and up to about 5 or 6 years ago, this engine, the block of this engine, at least in a revised form, is the basis of the current V8 in the Bentley. How about that? And I have got my facts right because I did look into this ages ago. That is how good this engine was in terms of its advancement. I mean, obviously this has got carbs, but the later ones have injection. And they kept it going for so long. Obviously, it's like nowadays in the Bentley, it's only a revised block from this engine that exists. So it's a bit like Trigger's broom. There's not really much of the original left, but nevertheless it shows basically how good an engine this was. I'm not into Rolls Royces. I think you have to be of a certain background and aura to actually be interested in them, but you can admire the engineering. Just love that. Obviously at the show there's many products that are actually available. We've got Maguire's over there, we've got Hamilton's Hamilton's covers, which I really do recommend, even though car covers, as I've said before, can have their own damages as such. Rimmer Brothers are at the front here, and unfortunately I've discovered there's another hall and it's full of tools, so unfortunately I might have to just avoid the tools at all costs, because this is a real problem. If you want all resources and tools you can have under the sun, and most of it you'll think of, I find I've got most of this stuff. I haven't got one of these. No, stop it. Stop it. Always get carried away with this sort of stuff. No. Polybush, if you're interested in polybush in your car, doesn't always work for every application, but most it does if you're struggling to get bushes for your car. Yes. Right, I'm going to go to another hall now. Right, I've just walked up to Hall 3, and this is where you have the car auctions. Now, you obviously have to pay a fee to get in and have a look at some of the cars, but as you can see, we've got some real gems. This Fiesta has actually sold. It is a 1.1 Popular Plus. I mean, these were everywhere. I love these things, and do you know what? I hope to God whoever's bought this is going to preserve it as well as it looks. I mean, there's not a touch of rust anywhere on this thing. Absolutely love it. The interior is immaculate. This mine are absolutely immaculate. Most of them are in this sort of condition. And then as we move across here, Renault 5 GTI. These are again disappeared like no man's business. Great colour to have a Mini, and these are some of the absolute spank. I mean, there's another Mini there. These are absolutely top-notch cars. They all have to be, because you do pay a good fee when they go to auction. I don't know how much this is sold for, but if that is sold for more than a few thousand, maybe 4, maybe 5, that's a bargain. Anything less than 5,000, that's a bargain. 75 GT. This is kind of like, there's like Mini Coopers that are at the top of the ladder, 60s Mini Coopers, and these, I mean, the estimate for this is £15,000 to £20,000, and I think that is on the cheap side for one of these, because they're just so desirable, so quick, so desirable. Dominated by Minis today. Seems to be quite a few Mercs, Audis. There's such a fantastic variety here. Now this is one terrific example, Jaguar XJS 4 litre automatic. The asking is 7, now it's been dropped to 6. It'd be interesting to see exactly what this sort of thing goes for. Current asking price, nobody's actually bidding for it, but I think we're a bit early, but nevertheless, that will go for a decent number. And they've had to drop it to 5.2 now. Don't we have had a bidder? 5,000 in the room. Strong money. £5,000. GTI. Quite a few different cars. Interesting. Now, next to the live auctions, we've just got a variety of different cars up for grabs. Usually you see a lot of Jaguars, and yeah, we've got some E-types going on here. Ford Capri. I'm coming round. I'm seeing if there's any Ford stuff, of which many of you would like to see. And there is a lovely Ford straight ahead of me. Lovely Mark II Escort. With the Kent engine, or Valencia engine as it will be known at this point. Different air filter there, got a K&N, but a square one, tiny little battery, servo mounted down there. Wow, okay, this is tidy. It's had the paintwork done, and it is an RS 2000. I thought it was. I didn't want to say anything before I seen the badge, because I don't want to get it wrong. And yes, I'm not a huge person when it comes to the RS 2000s or anything like this, because I think they are slightly overrated for what they're worth, but still, as a Ford, it's brilliant, isn't it? And it is for sale at £9,000. Okay, that's quite interesting. Actually, that's quite cheap. I think that's very cheap, very cheap. Now, as far as I'm aware, Mark IIs are really not as popular as Mark 1s, but they're still £9,000. I think that is relatively cheap when you compare it to, let's say, a Cosworth. One of my subscribers, Dave, you know who you are, buddy. There you go. This is for you. Capri, 2 litre Pinto. Is that your style seat, buddy? Because that's absolutely gold and beige and gold and beige. I mean, he's had it all done up superbly, including on the inside as well. I'll get you one of these cars as well, because I know you're nuts about Capris. Anything old Ford. Really nice to see. Someone's wet dream, all right. BMW, but we won't talk about that. Let's go to the Escort, which is over here. Oh, okay. Let me have a look round. It's a racing car. It's a racing car. It's been used in a lot of motorsport. Obviously, Perspex. Oh, yes, he's taken the steering wheel off. That's handy. Oh, he's popped it up there. Just pop your steering up there, please. Brilliant. And of course, an Escort van. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what? It's one way of advertising your business, isn't it? I mean, there's tons of space in here. I don't think I'd want to put anything on the floor. No, I think this car has seen its Van Days previously Pinto engine as usual. Really, really clean. And we have, oh gosh, we got a Granada. We have a Granada at last. 2 litre Pinto, lovely blue colour scheme going on there. It is the GT model. We come round to the back. Interesting seats. Oh, it is the GT version. Yes, okay. I was a bit confused then. That's so original. That's perfectly correct. Even the steering wheel. Oh, I just love this. I mean, it is a bit too glossy for my liking. I mean, he's obviously had it resprayed completely. I mean, who am I to say? You know, he spent a lot of money on this. Whoever's owns the car. I do like the colour coordinated rocker cover down there. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, I think I need to get away before I get too jealous about this thing. And obviously next door we have a Capri next to the Granada. Wow. And I believe this would be a laser, or may not be. It may not be. It is a 2 litre S. I got that wrong. So it's not quite a 2.8 laser. It's a bit more dumbed down than that. Hopefully you can see on the reflections. I do apologise for seeing too much of me, but people clean their cars so nicely. And there's a period correct wheels. Thank you so much, buddy. I'm struggling with everyone's reflections today. Look at that. Absolutely. Purely original.
Totally original.
Nothing.
10,900 more from there.
2,900. 10,900 from new.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. Right, I've come round here. Ooh, Cortina. Lotus, Cortina. Oh dear. Wet dream, excuse me. 50 grand, you got the money, guys. It's a Mark II, yeah, and apparently it is one of 10 survivors of about 57 cars from various divisions. 4 are the 4-door model. So basically, this is one of 6. 4 of them are 4 doors and 6 of them are 2 doors. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is oh gosh. Turbo RS Escort ribbed lights. Oh goodness me. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go around here. Oh dear. Oh God. So it's a C race, 1985. Oh, it's just so much bling. I mean, people have had this stuff made. I mean, this is a CVH engine, right? The CVH. And they've had a stainless steel can cover made. I mean, is this the sort of stuff that you could get in a club? I mean, that's just my sort of dream. I mean, it needs a bit of cleaning. The problem is, I'd be worried about fingerprints. I'd be constantly polishing. I mean, the brake servo is made of the same material, and the master cylinder. Oh my God! And even the camshaft cover is made of the same material. So I'm trying to reduce reflections here a little bit. I want to steal a car, it'd be this one. Yes, and as usual, the daddy. Left-hand drive. I just love the styling at the front. I think they got it so right on these early ones. I mean, this isn't, you know, this isn't like the Sapphire Cosworth where they basically souped up an everyday four-door family saloon Sierra. This is the real thing. I'm just trying to scoot along. We've got a 924 here with the van engine, as they call it. That's more affordable. Got a Lotus Esprit over there, a couple of Lotus Esprits. I'm just trying to scoot around a little bit. It's a Sunbeam Lotus. This one is just, wow, the fingerprints. You can't fake that. That takes years to achieve. A couple of the auction cars coming through. We have a Series 1 XJ, again another 2.8. I've seen two of these today, the 2.8 being the rarest of the lot. Only at this sort of show will you see that. And then here we have a Mini Minor with crust, but a restoration project nevertheless. I think this is one of them that looks better on the surface, but when you start digging in, it may not be the case, as with all Minis. We have another Escort. Oh, hold on, have I seen this Escort before? Yes, I may have covered it. It is a Mark 1 Escort with a 16-valve turbo engine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a standard fitment. Is it? Certainly is not. Is that reasonable? I personally don't think so. It's been messed around with a lot, but still looks good. Still looks good. Here we go again. Ooh, so it's a full Lotus Outlaws nut and bolt restoration. That's not uncommon, because you could probably have this fully restored to every nut and bolt and you'd still get your cars, you'd still get your money back. That's the truth. I've noticed a few of these with these stickers. Apparently someone in the club actually makes these Motorcraft stickers. I might speak to somebody about that actually. Oh, Jesus. Mark 1. Ooh, up for that. Left-hand drive. Now we have a bigger barn find section here. I say there's still so many cars to see, but I am running out of battery life. I'm running out of everything. Vauxhall Cavalier in an absolute I mean, it's the cabriolet version, and it's, oh my gosh, I don't know where that's been on the farm. Riley up.
Hi guys. I haven't picked them yet. I've seen you picking them out. Have you chosen one?
Land Rover.
It's not just an exhibition, so
Capri. Oh, it's a Calypso, a Capri Calypso. Yeah, quite interesting. Rover P6 V8 with all the mess. Scimitar with all the mess. Alfa Romeo Alfetta 2 litre. Reef. Normal for a Mini. Cracking, and you can vote for the one that you think is the best. Obviously, I'm going to vote for the P6. Clearly, that's going to be because I'm just biased. You know, that's me. The Tickford Owners Club. I think we know what exactly that is. This is absolutely stunning. Western Puma. That's the second one I've seen today. Oh, gosh. And another one. That's some colour, that is. I was struggling to find Fords earlier, and I discovered that they're just on another floor. So we have an Escort, RS, Mark 1, Mark 3, RS Turbo, this one. And of course, we have to have an RS Mark 1 Focus. So this is an 03 plate, and oh, I do love these wheels. Yes, 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 yes. This is all very familiar with the Recaro seats, blue steering wheel, something that is familiar but yet so unfamiliar. Lovely gearboxes. I don't think they're the most championed RS of the lot, Focus Mark 1s, but they're still one heck of a legendary car because of Colin McRae. You know, they took basically the essential elements of this car and created a WRC rally car that won and was successful with one of the best drivers ever from that period. Ford Escort Mexico. Over here we have a very down-to-earth E-Reg Ford Escort estate, which we all can relate to because everyone's mum and dad and auntie and uncle had one back in the day because they were cheap, they were disposable, and they were pretty reliable apart from the rust. And this is a 1.6 GL, presumably with the CVH engine, and fancy sunroof going on. We have a Ford Consul Corsair, which is a very, very this is a very prime example actually. Family owned from new. Ooh, what a colour, what a colour. Yeah, what a colour. and an L Fiesta. Right, let's go to the Fiesta. Go on, a Fiesta L. This is a very, very early one. Swindon car. Ah, see. Just simplicity, basic. It's even got the plastic covers on the seats. That's just sublime. And then we come to this Escort. Oh, reef. I might have a physical erection during this show, but if it was, I think it'd be one of these, because these are very unloved as far as Escorts go, but they're still stonkingly good cars. I think the truth is, it wasn't a very good car to put a Cosworth badge on, because by this time the competition had just run away, but they still like to mess about with stuff, Ford, and I think it deserves my my attention for that. So we've got the Fiesta L over here, and then we've got this one here. Ooh. And this is an XR2. Yeah, it is an XR2 with another brace of civvies on an X plate. And then next door to it is this Racing Sierra. Are you standing guard? Yeah. I think they need something to go here. It's work in progress, isn't it? It's got lots of strut bracing, good welds there. That is an ongoing project, but in terms of a racing car, more Escorts, a Sierra, sorry, excuse me. This is another RS 500 with just clean. Help. I'm caught amongst all sorts of This is really not helpful, because I haven't brought my cash with me, but I've brought my debit card, and I think that's just as worse. Yeah, I think that's just as bad. Anybody need any tin signs? I have to say, I was going to announce it, but I do have a lock-up garage which I've just obtained, and it might be quite tempting to get a few signs, but I have to be very selective. I mean, over here we've got all these. I saw this one. It's quite heavy. I'd have to mount that really well. £25. I think I'll come back to decorations once I've actually set myself up. It's just not quite the right time for me, but I know somebody who would really like one of these. Well, obviously one of these and not one of these. That one might be a bit tricky. And there's all sorts of stuff you can come and you can find practically anything in here. I think it more or less caters for pre-80s cars, but the truth is, it is what it is. I mean, some of these parts, as rare as hen's teeth. This sort of stuff, it's hard to come by. So if you want anything, you're just going to have to do a lot of trawling, and you could spend absolute hours in this sector. Look at it. And I've just missed a few cars on this side. We have some Ford Pumas on this side being worked on rapidly. Lots of stuff going on here. Leave them to it. Got another racing Puma with a detached wing down here. It's a pretty practical car for a sort of sport coupe. And then we have a load of Cortinas in different variants of filler going on, and that's in the 70s. That's completely normal. Today, it's not acceptable. It's completely normal today, and we've got some sort of weird patina going on with this one, which looks really nice. It's actually oil stained in some respects. It's actually, that's the rat look that you want to achieve if you want to go the rat look using oil. Beautiful GS. Hold on, I don't actually know, but I've been slightly distracted by what's over here. Yeah, the Capri 280 group, the 280 being the run-out model of the Capri, where they were starting to limit options. Wow. Yeah, this is the normal sort of position if you own a Ford. You won't be standing up straight like this chap, like normal people. You're normally going to be on your backside, whether it's in bed or working under your car, trust me. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more. Okay, I think we've lost the plot here. They did stuff a lot of extras in these late 280s. As I say, I don't know so much about Capris. Only the poor man's coupe is an understatement. If these have been rust-proofed, oh good grief, you know, it justifies the comments I made in my last video. How can any Ford CEO dismiss cars like this? All it needed was rust-proofing. Modern Fords cannot touch that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this. And this is a Tickford Capri, another one. Now, arguably, in this show, we've seen a lot of high-end Fords. Very high-end and custom-made Fords. My aim is to introduce the everyday Fords. I mean, that Fiesta L we've seen over there, the Escort over here. This is the stuff I like to see. Unfortunately, because of their values and because they're not worth much, people have never spent time rebuilding them or restoring them. So unfortunately, there is kind of, it's just an element of they've disappeared because of their values, which is such a shame, because I think people have realised that these are worth keeping now and spending money on, as opposed to these. But you go to a Ford show and this is what you would see. I love to see this, but I want to see more of the normal stuff, and I hope that my work with the Mark 1 Focus community is going to bring about that change. And I hope to have a Mark 1 owners group here, and not just, you know, basically not just here, but the ordinary Fords, the Fords that you really wouldn't see or have afforded. But these are beautiful. There's some more ones down here, but basically that's it. We've got a few bits over here, but the truth is, I think I may have shown you exactly what you needed to see. I'm just going to walk up here because I have spotted a few. Yeah. And really, to finish off, we have this Escort Turbo. Let me just come round and confirm that it is an RS Turbo 2000 4x4. The 4x4 version, which is as rare as hen's teeth. The turbo version, and then we've got another Escort XI, another one here, RS Turbo, another RS. Love to see some originality under the bonnet. Beautifully clean. Wow. Okay, Escort Mark 2. RS 2000. I'm going to end this here because my phone battery is dying. I am absolutely aching to death. I really do hope that this has been enjoyable to watch, because I have no idea as I'm making this if this is any good or whether you can hear me or not. I hope to God you can, and I hope you've had some insight into absolutely how I am not a motoring journalist in the least sense possible. But I've absolutely loved myself today. It's just nice to just lose yourself in amongst such an amazing place full of amazing motors. I mean, barn finds, live car auctions. I've spoken to quite a few people today, and amongst everything else, and quite a few people have subscribed. to my channel, so it's nice to get to know people, particularly a few people from the Ford Capri Owners Club, because it's just directly related to what I do with my own Ford. And I think when you mention that I'm rebuilding this and I've got a Ford this and that, I think people can instantly relate to you. Same with Rovers. If the moment that I said that I had a P6 when I went up to the P6 stand, because most people have changed, there's new members, there's a new chairman, new everything, and as soon as I said that, you know, the conversation changed to, do you want another one? Yes, is the answer. Just money pending. I think money-wise, I would have quite a few cars today, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to try and avoid buying anything on my way out, but touch wood. Anyway, you take care, guys. I will see you very soon, and this will be the start, hopefully, of a Mark 1 community, and I'm hoping to start building it up from here. Take care. See you very soon.